should I say gentle ladies, because it's 2022 and we don't want to have anyone feeling left behind. Nonetheless, welcome to Spotlight, the show where we shed a light on the most weird, bizarre, and awkward stories happening in our big, wide world. I'm Jayne Opondo, and here are the stories making the highlights in today's show. Sandals worn by Steve Jobs in the early days of Apple have been auctioned at a whopping $214,000. A Parisian undertaker aims to introduce bicycle hearses in France. Now, bringing it closer to home, a man in Rwanda has made himself a bee magnet. And in Japan, Shoji Morimoto has what some would see as a dream job. He gets paid to do literally nothing. And finally, we have a special guest joining us right here in Nairobi, Kenya, and later we'll dive deep on to see who she's about and what she's bringing to the table. Now, here in East Africa, a man in Rwanda who goes by the name Ndayisaba has harnessed the skill of controlling and commanding bees. Now, we know the relationship between man and bees. They give us honey and help us in pollination of our crops. Ndayisaba, however, has found a way to control and manipulate their behavior by locating the queen bee and tying it around his waist, and in doing so, the rest of the swarm of bees hover around him and create an armor-like suit. Take a look at this.
Meet our extraordinary bee man.
Nitwa Ndayisaba, nkaba ndi umwami w'inzuki.
By understanding swarm secret, it's possible to control these honey-giving animals and make them do most extraordinary things. 1,000 bees cover his body, creating what looks like a suit. You can see that with knowledge, such an incredible force of nature can be controlled.
Namara kumufata ubundi nkamwishyiraho ubundi inzuki zikanzaho. Kuko muri kano gace n'ahantu hari hose ni jewe ukora ibintu by'inzuki nta kibazo ntago zijya zindya.
He has an intense control over bees that he can take these swarms on his body to wherever he wants. And this has paid him on different occasions, like when these swarms invade a particular area. People come looking for him, and he has to drive these bees away from people and bring security in that place.
Now, many times we've heard of husbands for hire, especially during this Christmas season, where men in Nairobi, like you, just kidding, seek women to pretend to be their girlfriends for family occasions to mask their romantic failures. Now, Japanese Shoji Morimoto has what some would see as a dream job. He gets paid to do pretty much nothing. The 38-year-old Tokyo resident charges 10,000 yen, that's $71 per booking, to accompany clients and simply exist as a companion. He rents himself out, and his job is to be wherever his clients want him to be, saying that he's handled about 4,000 sessions in the past 4 years. He's been hired as a dinner date, a walk in the park, and just also to be a listening ear. There is no excuses that there are no jobs in society, guys. And if this guy is a living example, if there are no jobs, you become the job.
This Japanese man rents himself out to do nothing. For the price of 10,000 yen, or roughly $70, Morimoto will offer his companionship to attend events, dine with clients, and sometimes provide a listening ear. It may be a niche service, but Morimoto is in high demand. He says he can sometimes schedule up to 3 assignments a day and says he's been hired over 4,000 times. Roughly a quarter of his clients are repeat customers. including a woman who's hired him 270 times. Morimoto says his effort-free approach makes his offer unique, as he's not playing any specific role. His rising popularity, though, has attracted some requests that he's had to turn down. One client, for example, wanted to take him to Trinidad and Tobago, while another asked him to help move a fridge. Morimoto also believes his work can change the societal attitude that people need to be doing something productive in order to feel valued. Sometimes, he says, just showing up for people and being there can be valuable too.
Now, Undertaker Isabelle Plumereau cycles around Paris with a bicycle hearse that she is hoping will soon bring a new and green way of conducting funerals to the French capital. Not only is it a quieter, environmentally conscious burial, as she sees it as a soft way of accompanying our loved ones to their final resting place, where everyone walks at the same pace behind the bicycle and you can hear each other, hear the sounds of nature, the wind in the trees, and the birds. Now, I'm coming from a colorful country and culture, which is the Luo community in Kenya, and we're known for dramatic funerals with endless music, feasting, parties, and people are literally paid to mourn, ululate, and cry for the dead. So this might be an inconceivable idea for us, but maybe we could borrow a leaf or two from this lovely lady, where we could take our time to focus on the things that really matter in life, while taking care of our environment and our surroundings.
This is France's first ever bicycle hearse, and it could be the low-carbon solution to having a greener goodbye with loved ones. Its creator, Isabelle Plumereau, is an undertaker.
It is a bicycle and a hearse which makes it possible to go gently to one's final resting place.
Quieter, environmentally conscious burials are a small but growing trend. Plumereau says transporting the coffin with a specially designed cargo bike is not only more eco-friendly, but can also bring a softer pace to a funeral. Although it's not a new concept, the bicycle hearse already exists in a few other European countries like Switzerland and Denmark, but Plumereau's is the first in France.
Why move a big van to travel a few meters between a church and a cemetery when you can do it with a bicycle hearse in a calm, gentle way all together? I think it's also important to try to change this vision a little bit.
Now, sandals worn by Steve Jobs in the early days of Apple sold for a whopping $218,000. You heard that right. That's 21,400,000 Kenyan shillings in an auction in New York. Now, the brown suede Birkenstock Arizonas were worn by Jobs in the 1970s and the 1980s during many pivotal moments in Apple's history. Now, I'm all about collecting novelties, especially if they come from famous people, but take a look at these sandals, guys. Honestly, even a man on the street would sneer at those shoes. I mean, I know I would. Now, I know you guys are used to listening to all this genge, kapuka, shrap music, but just allow me to refine your taste just a little bit and introduce you to a sensational, inspirational, and remarkable singer-songwriter right here from Nairobi, Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, a drum roll, please. Iyanah!
Howdy. Hello.
Crowd goes crazy. So, welcome to the show, Iyanah.
Thank you.
How are you feeling about yourself?
I mean, nervously excited.
That's
so,
good.
Yeah.
That's a good place to
Right.
be. So, I know they're like wondering who you are and what you're all about. So, why don't you go and tell us, who is Iyanah?
Okay, I am Iyanah. I am a 23-year-old singer, songwriter, and performing artist based in Nairobi, Kenya. Yeah, that's a short summary, I guess.
That's cool. And so what's your background like? Like, where did you grow up? Where did you go to school? And what about your family?
Okay, well, I am based in Nairobi at the moment, but I was actually born and raised at the coast. I grew up in Diani. I have three brothers, four if you count my dad. And yeah, I'm the only girl in my family. So it's a very weirdly functional, but a very special group of people, my family. Yeah.
Fantastic. And what would you say is a genre of music that you sing or you write or produce?
At the moment, I do not produce. I just sing and write. My current sound has been mostly R&B from the start of my career
Okay.
up until now. But I do dabble
Okay.
in every other genre along the way. I really don't like confining myself to a specific genre because I think there's just so much out there and so much I want to try.
Great stuff. And who would you say are some of the musical influences you've had growing up in your life? Like, who have you just been like listening to and kind of inspired you to, you know, get into R&B and stuff?
I feel like I draw a lot of inspiration from different genres because I don't specifically only want to, you know, dive into one. So I listen to everything from traditional R&B to alternative sounds to rock to hip hop. I'd say my biggest inspirations though would be this band called AJR. I just really love how they play around with their sounds. You think that they make a certain type of music, but then they just go out of their way and like transform it into something and make it their own. And yeah, that really inspires me.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. And what would you say has been some of the highlights of your musical career? How long have you been singing actually? When
Okay.
did you start? Let's start there. When did you start singing?
Professionally, I'd say this has been my second like complete year of doing it, of like putting out music and performing. But the real answer is like since I was 5, I've been like singing around the house. My brothers can give you thousands of stories of how I irritated them all my life because I was constantly singing.
Right.
So yeah, this has been my second professional year, and my highlight has honestly just been 2022 as a whole. From the beginning of the year till the very end, with an exception of like a few months in the middle,
Right.
I've been like performing the whole year. And already from the jump, the first performance I had this year was like doing background vocals and performing with Ecstatic, which was insane because I've been a fan of hers for like years. And then it just kept going where I've like worked with so many artists that I only ever just like fangirled over on my Spotify. And I can call some of them my friends as well, which is even more insane.
Cool.
And the year's wrapping up like beautifully with us performing with Maya Amolo as well, and I couldn't ask for more.
That's
Oh, and my
incredible.
friends have been with me along the way as well, which is even better that I get to share it with people I love.
Cool. And like I've heard your vocals, girl. You can sing.
Thank you.
You can sing. Have you had any professional training, or like is it just inborn where you know, to just like get like that?
I mean, sometimes I hate saying that it's like inborn because I don't want it to seem like I just like came out of like the coochie with runs and stuff, but I really have never had. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
No,
I really
kidding.
have never had like singing classes per se or somewhere I went to learn until like way after I started singing, which is like in high school. I mean, I did the basic Kenya Music Festivals thing, so we had a choir in school. I don't know if you'd want to count that as training. I guess some people would. And then like after high school, I went to conservatoire to learn like piano and music theory. So there wasn't really any coaching along the way. I'm just very good at imitations. So growing up listening to certain artists, I just try to like feel my way around how they were doing it, and I
Cool.
guess it ended up somewhere.
So I know that everybody wants to hear what you sound like, and they're all like, "What is all this going on about?" So before we get you to sing for us, why don't you let us know where we can get your music from?
Oh my God. Okay. My socials, first of all, are Iyanah Kiragu. And then my music out on every available platform is just under the name Iyanah, which is Iyanah.
Okay, and what platforms are these? I mean, like,
Oh, girl.
just let them know. Let
All
them
of them,
know.
we got you covered. You use Spotify, we got you. You don't like Spotify, you use Apple Music, it's there too. Deezer, all of them. Boomplay. There's literally no excuse. Just don't pirate my music.
You heard it here first, guys, here on Spotlight. And so, what are your immediate plans? Do you have any new music you're going to be recording, releasing? Do you have any performances coming up?
Performance-wise, let me start there. I do have a show on the 8th of December, which is tomorrow, at Shelter with Maya Amolo. I am part of her band, as well as an opening act. I do have lots of music that was recorded this year.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure as to when it will see the light of day, but we're gonna stop. That's the behind the scenes stuff that we do. And my goal for next year is to, God willing, put out a full body of work, be it an album or an EP. I already have some songs that could be jumping in on it, and let's just see how excited and productive I will be next year. So
Amazing stuff, guys. So you heard it here first. Iyanah Kiragu on all the different musical platforms. And before she dashes out, we're going to have her do a little bit of a sensational vibe or performance, a little performance for us. So let's go.
This time there's no need for talking. No, you know, don't lie, be honest. Notice the changes, the way you've been lately. I can't hide the way I feel. No, it hurts, but I'ma heal. I don't even blame you. I just need a time to get back in order and make up my mind. I apologize. I should have swallowed my pride. Yeah, and spoke from the start. And told you this wouldn't end well. I'm sure it was hard, but you broke me, and I can't keep it in. I don't know if it was real, whether I was time to kill. Confused and upset, we should have discussed it. Maybe it was only time until one of us crossed the line. Would have been better if we got together and spoke to you from the start and told you this wouldn't end well. I'm sure it was hard, but you broke me,
that's it for today, guys. It's a wrap like Moi. Now be sure to stay tuned and watch who comes on the spotlight next week, as well as all the bizarre stories that we're going to be uncovering across our globe. If you want to follow me on my social media, my name is Jayne Opondo. That's JayneOpondo. Across all social media platforms. That's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, all this fabulousness is happening at JOfuasia Media House. So be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, switch on the notification bell, and follow us on our social media accounts as well. So it's been real. See you next time. Bye.